What's up, everybody? Welcome to Real Talk Real Estate. I'm your host, Mark Cannon, local realtor here in the Phoenix area with my home group Real Estate, and I'm the owner of the Benchmark Real Estate team. So appreciate you guys listening. We're talking about mortgage rates today and interest rates in general and why they may not correlate when everyone just saw that there was a massive drop in interest rates. So we're going to talk about that today. You can obviously listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or watch on YouTube or Spotify. Appreciate the support, appreciate the comments, the likes, the sharing this with your friends. Just trying to give helpful information, not trying to get viral here. Don't care about that. So let's dive into it. So some people saw that interest rates, the Fed came out and said, we're dropping interest rates a half a point. Oh, wow. So 0.5%. Wow. They're dropping interest rates. And so I had some people call me, I saw mortgage rates really dropped. I said, no, mortgage rates had already dropped. And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, just because the Fed does something doesn't mean mortgage rates follow. So the way, and listen, I'm not an expert when it comes to interest rates by any means, but I know enough to be dangerous. But when you look at the Fed interest rates, they're not just talking about mortgage rates. They're talking about interest rates across the board. So for them, what the mortgage companies are doing is they're trying to pre-bake it. That's what mortgages are doing. So you look, 2-3 months ago, mortgages were around 7%. Now we're at 6.1 to 6.2, somewhere in that range. I think today we're at 6.9 or 6.19. Pardon me, not 6.9, 6.19. So it's one of those that, we came down. And why is that? Because the Fed was starting to indicate they were going to lower rates. So the mortgage industry pre-baked it. That's why we saw massive drops. I think we were sitting around 6.7, and all of a sudden we went down to about 6.2. And people were like, whoa. And that's where they pre-baked it in. And so they did ahead of time. They're trying to look at what the Fed's indicating before the Fed actually does it to get that to happen. So that's why when we saw interest rates drop half point, mortgage rates really didn't change. And so people were like, oh, I didn't know that. It was great to be able to learn that because it is kind of confusing. So the Fed has also indicated that they might be doing 2 more quarter points the rest of this year. So I would imagine mortgage interest rates are going to continue to fall for the rest of the year. I would imagine we'll probably be around, I would probably think 5.7, 5.8 by the end of the year. And that's conventional VA, FHA, which VA, FHA right now are around 5.7, 5.8. I would imagine they're 5.3, 5.5 by the end of the year. So it's one of those that, obviously if you have questions specifically about mortgage rates, talk to your mortgage provider. If you don't have one, I can recommend one. But it's one of those that they're going to continue to go down because they're fighting, inflation, which seems inflation is slowly coming down, but inflation is coming down. One, because I think of unemployment with the jobs reports and where the economy is. It's an election year, so it gets murky because some of the numbers we're getting from the current administration may not be accurate, and then they find out, oh wait, we did a correction a month later and it's totally wrong. So it doesn't seem like they're being fully transparent with some of the numbers. And based off what I'm seeing with the amount of jobs letting people go, we may be I think we're in a recession right now. That's just my personal opinion. I think we're in a recession and we're whistling through the graveyard on that stuff. But I think it's one of those that's why, like when the Fed is saying, hey, we're lowering rates 3 times here at the end of the year, they're trying to combat something. And so they're trying to correct something. And so I think we're not as good as we think we are in economy wise. Obviously prices are still really high, whether it be houses or other stuff. But so there isn't an exact correlation of time when it comes down to mortgage rates and interest rate drops when it comes to the Fed. So just realize that the mortgage rates are typically dropping before the Fed actually announces it. So before the next announcement, I would imagine mortgage rates will probably come down a little bit more. But that's kind of where it is. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully you understand. If you have more questions about this, I'd love to have a conversation, whether you're looking to buy, sell, invest. I'm here to help. It's real estate through relationships. That's how I build my business. I work by referral only. So my information is right here. Reach out to me. I'd love to have a conversation with you to help however I can to help you strategize for what's best for you. Guys, you've been listening to Real Talk Real Estate. I'll catch you next time.